Good morning, guys. I'm with Naz Abdullah here today. Go to his channel. You can find his link below in my description. Subscribe his channel, Naz Abdullah.
Naz Abdullah.
Yep.
N-A-Z-Z.
Yep, our team member from JB. So he's here with me, and we just test drove the new Mitsubishi Triton. Let me go wide angle, show off a bit lah. First time I'm recording using my Samsung Note 10. So, is this the most handsome pickup truck out there now? I believe it is, right? It has taken the throne from the likes of the Ranger, Hilux, D-Max. It's really good looking. This new design language from Mitsubishi, they call it the dynamic shield, really changes how their cars look. I hope they apply this to all their cars. It seems like that's what they're doing. And if you notice, the headlamp housing is actually very slim. Now, it's not easy to make a headlamp housing that slim that houses a projector headlamp. It's like that, see that? And then there's the daytime running lights, the DRLs, and then these are nicely integrated with the grille. I think all car makers are doing something where they integrate the grille into the headlamp housing, right? The familiar Jackie Chan logo. Okay lah, no lah, huh? I'm old enough. If for those of you who are young, you might not know, in the 80s, Jackie Chan is like the global ambassador for Mitsubishi, the Evos and all that, and all his movies, and able to chase a Nissan GTR R32 with a Mitsubishi FTO. That is of course bullshit, alright? 1.8 Mivec, you want to chase a Nissan GTR? Impossible, alright? But oh well, that's not the 80s, that's the 90s, right? That movie. Anyway, back to the Triton. This is of course the top variant, Adventure X VGT 2.4 Mivec, 181 horsepower, 430 Newton meters of torque. Now, this kind of figures in today's world isn't that unique, I would say, for all these modern pickup trucks. But if you've driven the Triton, it's the way it delivers the power, because most pickup trucks, when you are on the move, you lift off your throttle and then you reapply again, you need to wait at least 1.5 seconds before the engine responses, right? Because it needs the exhaust gas to spool the turbo, to compress air, to pump more oxygen into the combustion chamber and then explode. Of course, this one uses the same process, all these combustion engines, but the way Mitsubishi did with their variable geometry turbo this round, that's the meaning of VGT anyway, variable geometry turbo, where they are able to change the path where air travels through the turbine in a way whereby it compresses it more when you have less exhaust gas. That allows this car to spool much faster. I just came up with the D-Max the other day. Of course, we all of us know that Isuzu announced the all-new D-Max afterwards, but it uses the same 1.9 litre engine, and I mean, I would say they employ a different direction. Both are downsizing their engine, right? Last time all of them have a 3.2 litre, right? But now Mitsubishi, the 2.4 performs just as good as those 3.2s back then, but it squeezes out enough power, enough torque, and the response is so good that you really do not need that kind of big displacement engine anymore. Of course, Isuzu went even further, even more extreme, using the 1.9. So how's the performance compared from the Isuzu to the Mitsubishi? Of course, this one is outright dominant in terms of power delivery, right? It's the difference between the power delivery of this versus the 1.9 D-Max is way bigger than the displacement of the engine suggests. So you would have thought 1.9, 2.4, yeah, maybe half a liter of cylinder cylindrical capacity count, but the way power was being delivered, it feels as though this is a way larger engine than that. Alright, now ride comfort, the cabin of the Triton. Okay, should I go through the whole thing first? Okay, that's the bed. Let me try. Oh, okay. So remember the D-Max, they installed a strut over here, so when you open this lift gate, when you're opening or closing the lift gate, it doesn't feel as heavy or would drop down like this one. See? So that is a point for the D-Max for adding that strut there and letting it slowly come down. And of course the D-Max also has like a tray, which I'm not sure whether it's standard option or not. Nevertheless, it's big, it's nice, and I'm really starting to warm up to pickup trucks, all these modern pickup trucks, because they are comfortable. And do they still bounce around at the back? Of course they do, because these are leaf springs. Alright, so at the back you will still feel a bit of bump, but compared to those days, huge difference. Alright, let's come up to the cabin. And for those Malaysians who didn't know, every single pickup truck sold in Malaysia is tax free. That's why you look at how big this car is, and yet the selling price of them is around that of a Honda Civic. In global markets, pickup trucks are way more expensive than C-segment sedans. Okay, pickup trucks are by right, they should be around the price range of a BMW 3 Series in any global market. Okay, it's just that in Malaysia, these guys are tax-free, and hence they are at the price point of a C-segment sedan. Alright, so remember this, whenever you're buying a pickup truck, you're getting a bargain, a big bargain. There's a nice handle here, coming to the rear seats. And look at the door panel, it even has some leather garnishings there. This is very passenger car-like. The plastic materials are really good. These are hard plastics, but it's smooth and high quality. It's not the rough type. Alright, and it's a pickup truck, you need to be robust. If it is the soft touch material, something hard being poked on it, it will create a hole, right? Softer stuffs are easier to be damaged. So on pickup trucks, is acceptable. Now my foot is able, my size 11 feet was able to slot in between the base of the seat and the starting of the rail of the front seats. Okay, I have like 3 fingers of knee room, and then I have enough headroom. It's a okay place to be in. It's a pickup truck again. Windows are large and wide, and you get a lot of light coming in. Pretty awesome. Okay, anything below the seats? Nothing. Actually, I think if Honda were to make pickup trucks, right, if Honda produces a pickup truck in this segment, if they come into this segment, right, then I'm sure we can await a lot of surprises. Why? Because Honda has always been known to be really, really innovative when it comes to interior packaging, interior innovative solutions. So I believe if Honda were to make a pickup truck, they would definitely do something to the rear seats, whereby maybe you can raise the rear seats and put your bags inside so you can hide it from view. Because the biggest problem with pickup trucks is, see, where do you put your stuff that you can hide from outsider view? None. No space at all to hide your valuables in your car. Not that you should put a lot of valuables in your car, but that's the advantage of sedans or other types of cars over pickup trucks. That's a very nice, thick, comfy armrest. Okay, so Honda or other pickup truck makers, please do something to your rear seats. I'm sure you can come up with a mechanism where that allows us to fold the rear seats up and then reveal a huge compartment for us to store our stuff and then put it back. Alright, laptops or iPads or whatsoever. This looks like a space for rear aircon vents, but nope, it's a compartment, and then you get 2 USB ports, very generous there, to charge your devices for your kids. And then this weird contraption over here, what is this? What is this? Alright, Now, this is a very interesting concept. It is an air circulator that doesn't need power. Basically, your aircon vents will be blowing air upwards, and then there's this vent over here that lets the air travel in, and then some air will travel out over here, and then you can use these deflectors to actually deflect air to the rear passengers. That's theory. In actual, the air actually comes to you from this huge gap already. But nonetheless, there are of course air being traveled upwards, and then it's nice to have them diverted to the rear passengers. That's a very nice approach where they don't need to spend extra to route any aircon hosing or housing to the roof structure, and then have another pump here that actually blows air. Alright, so I'm okay with the seat angle. Again, I'm doing all this because I'm giving this kind of judgment because it's a pickup truck. Alright, so the rear seat angles are alright, the visibility is okay, I can see through to the front, so I don't feel nauseated. It's good. Alright, let's go to the front seats and check everything out. Ingress and egress is alright as well, even though this one has a step over here, but from that angle coming down is alright, at least for me. I'm 5'11". You get keyless entry, however it's the button type, so you have to press it to lock and unlock the car. Okay, and then the mirrors will fold when you lock the car, and then when you unlock, it unfolds. And then you will notice this. Ooh, yes, there are cameras on both side mirrors, and it's supremely helpful when you are indicating your signals, and then the screen will show the stuffs. Alright, let's look at the door panels. Very nice angle here, so you can put large bottles, and then this is comfortable enough. This is actually it's not real leather, it's just PU leather. Alright, but it's okay enough. Start button over here, the mirror adjusts are over here, traction control button, and then what is this? I think it's the collision warning in front, and then this one raises or lowers the headlamp. Okay, now the steering wheel. This steering wheel looks rather out of place in a pickup truck, but not very out of place in this interior appointment. So Mitsubishi has thoroughly redesigned the interior to look very, very much like a passenger SUV. Right, this looks like a proper family SUV interior in terms of the design of the dials. Right, the whole dash structure, all this looks passenger car like. I think it strikes a very good balance between a robust and rugged pickup truck and a usable daily passenger car for family use. Even this part is covered in leather with some really nice sponge inside, so it's very comfortable for my foot. When I rest it over here, it's lovely. USB port over here, one or two, I think it's only one. 12-volt socket, 2 cup holders. Oh, and there's something rather premium. I don't really see these in Japanese cars. Nice. It makes the car look, I'm not sure if they are accessories, but nice. A removable ashtray, and you can take them away. Okay, so here you have, you see, a glove box that's slowly dropped. Okay, it drops out slowly, and then you have an infotainment system that is actually a 2-DIN system, but the design looks like a sort of like a tablet. But I'll show you when I start the car in a bit. Let me rub off all the thumbprints first, fingerprints. Okay, yeah, looks much better. Now the steering wheel, back to the steering wheel. This steering wheel came straight off a Pajero, a proper, if they are here, 400 over 1,000 ringgit Pajero. Alright, so it's very, very nice to hold. I think this is the best steering wheel in any pickup truck. Okay, the buttons feels great. It feels that it comes from a higher end product. Actually, it feels very nice to the touch, and then the grip the perforated parts over here, the whole leather steering wheel, and then even in the middle here is leather wrap. Is this leather wrap? No, this is not. This is stamped plastic. Alright, but it looks like leather with the stitching design and all that. So very nice steering wheel, and it's very nice. I mean, very comfortable, this type of 4-spoke steering wheel. Why? When you're driving long distance, you can just rest your arm over here. You know, some steering wheels, they are very sporty with the 3-spoke design. Actually, they're not that practical when it comes to long distance driving. Of course, it's okay for sports cars to have that sporty feeling, but I like steering wheels with a lot of grip points. Okay, really nice, really nice. And the paddle shifters, you would have noticed them by now, right? They look like painted plastic, all right? But actually, these are the same magnesium, full magnesium paddle shifters that came from the Lancer earlier on. I don't know how many pieces of these that Mitsubishi has been making, but I hope they don't stop making it, because these paddle shifters has got to be some of the best paddle shifters in the industry. Alright, really nice. If you came from a modern Audi and you touch your plastic little small paddle shifters, you would have feel this is like, wow, this is something that is worthy in an Audi R8 or something. Okay, let's start the car. Anything else I missed out? Okay, the sunglass holders are very tiny, so any woman with your aviators, you will not be able to put in, or your Gucci big sunglasses. Alright, nothing surprising there. No lights over here. This one don't even have a mirror over here. And then you have a slot for your cards. This feels decidedly cheaper than the rest of the car. This feels like it came from an A segment car. Okay, other than that, the whole car's build is excellent. It's a pickup truck nonetheless. Okay, any stuffs here? No ports over here, just a deep compartment, and then no compartment over here, but it's alright. Your fuel cap, that is quite big. It feels like a bonnet opening mechanism, but it's used on the fuel cap. Alright, let's start the car. You will hear the diesel engine rumble to life. It's pretty loud. Right, typical diesel engine. You hear all the sound, you smell the diesel smell, and then we are in 2-wheel drive mode. This car, you have all this system: 2-wheel, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low, 4-wheel really low, I presume, and then they have gravel mode and all that. Pretty advanced 4-wheel drive system. Mitsubishi is one of the first pickup truck makers that puts a sort of like a electronic switch to transfer power between 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. Okay, the car also comes with a dash cam integrated. Very nice touch there. And then this infotainment. Japanese car makers have always lagged behind the Europeans when it comes to infotainment screen UI design. It's as if they don't care. If you're in Malaysia, they'll look for a local supplier and put it in. If you're in Thailand, they look for a local supplier and put it in. If you're in Russia, if you're in US, they all look different all over the world. The only two Japanese car makers that have a unified infotainment system is actually Lexus and Mazda. Infinity, negligible, don't bother about them. Anyway, you have a climate control system, which is all these digital buttons, alright, physical buttons, but then they are not like the huge big buttons where you press, it feels slightly more atas. And then you have this, press the camera, and then it's low res. Okay, let me explain. It's no low res, but it's functional. It is actually functional. Okay, so this shows the front, and this shows a bird's eye view. Okay, let me explain a little bit about low res screens. I mean, these, because they source locally, definitely the supplier have to find something that is low cost, and they can only find those old leftover screens from China, from low res ones from China, because those are cheaper. Those are leftover stocks, presumably. No one will open a factory, pay the same wages, same electric bill to intentionally produce low-res screens. Low-res screens and high-res screens won't make much of a difference in costs, okay, or the camera module anyway. But anyway, it works. Now, if I put my signal to the left, you see the left camera gets activated immediately, and then you get to see the curb next to you. I put right signal, see how fast it responds. So this is very, very good. And I like the implementation. So when I'm on the highway, anytime I can press this button and on the camera just to check my surrounding, and then when I signal, this thing will come out. It's pretty good. Of course, it's not on the same, it's not done in the same purpose as the Honda Lane Watch, where Honda Lane Watch actually shows the view behind. So anyway, this car has blind spot warning system as well. So it's very luxurious. So now in the pickup market segment, right, Ford Ranger and Triton occupies the upper end of the spectrum, the one that appeals to normal consumers, family man, that you're willing to spend this kind of money on a pickup instead of a C segment sedan like Civic, but you get a lot more out of your car. You have four-wheel drive, you can go to places like these, you can carry a shit ton of stuffs at the back there. It's usable, very nice. It's just that I hope there is a compartment below the seats for us to hide our stuffs. Alright, so nothing much to talk about this infotainment screen, you know, is that you have mirroring for your phone, which is really good, and then it's touchscreen, you have Bluetooth, radio, that's about it. There's a compass over here, but I don't find a GPS or whatsoever, okay, so it doesn't come with it, but then it has mirroring, so you can use your phone's Waze or Google Maps. Alright, that's about it for the Mitsubishi Triton. Check out the price yourself. Alright, it's a very nice pickup truck. Okay, some verdicts on the handling just now. It handles really well. It's just that the steering doesn't have feel, so I do not know how the tires are doing, so I don't dare to really push it. But you don't push cars like that, you don't drive like that in the pickup truck. Alright, I'm just testing it. Definitely handles better than the D-Max, definitely handles better than the Hilux, comparable to the Ford Ranger. I think the Ford Ranger is slightly more comfortable, and that's about it. Alright, cheers.